Hey there folks and friends, Connecting Dots here, aka Silver Gold Man. Quick little update as far as silver, Fukushima tour, the website, cargo ships taking out a whale population, and well, what I've been training myself to do, which is scalping stocks. Now let's start off first of all with this past book, this audio book I left the link to in my previous video. This book is called Think and Grow Rich. A few people left different comments on this. Now, my biggest thing here that I draw out of this is that the changing of the mindset. If you're serious about making some big money and making some big changes in your life, not just making big money, it's changing your mindset and the self-affirmations. I'm very big on that. There's a lot of other good things here that you can pull out of this book. Unfortunately, he doesn't know diddly squat about J.P. Morgan, the banker, so, forget about that. However, Napoleon Hill was definitely ahead of his time on a few other things in here, which I'm not going to get into. Go watch the book. There are links down below in the Show More tab. What can I say? It's one of the books that even again tonight I'm listening to. It's a Friday night. I'm listening to it again. I enjoy the information there. It keeps me fresh on what I want to do and where my goals are. And my biggest thing why I like the book, I guess, is because on top of teaching myself how to scalp, I realized I had to deal with some other situations. But the steps that I had taken way back on December 20th to change my life correspond with the steps that are mentioned in this book, right down to step number one, which was dealing with your mindset, doing the self-affirmations, which is what after teaching myself scalping, I said, hey, I got to deal with I got a little bit of a self-esteem issue. It's kind of weird, even though I know I can do it, there's a little bit of a fear in me. So this is where the self-affirmations came in, and this is where I ran into the book. And if you want to find out more, it's linked down below, and I hope you get something out of it like I did. Now, as far as the scalping, folks, what can I say? This is what I want to do here, because I realize there's golden opportunities there every single day, where stock, as you can see here, we started off as low as $2, and well, I end up calling the high on this one here, which is, I think, what was it, 286 or 287? I can't remember. I did it on Twitter, and even though I'm not trading any real money at this point, it's all about learning how to read the stocks and knowing when they're about to pop, learning to deal with the different time frames. Very important thing here, because a person had left a comment there how, sometimes on the 1 minute the stochastic is showing it's a go, and then you go put it on the 5 minute, it's showing something different. Well, that's all about scalping. You got to learn the difference, and what can I say? I've got that down pat, and I'm just about to get into this full time. This is something I plan on doing probably by the end of summer. I will be doing this probably full time. I see myself doing well. I realize it's not for everyone, but I'll tell you the truth, folks. If you're interested, I'll be starting a link over at the forum, because all of these indicators, don't be frightened by the names because they sound unfamiliar. It's no different than, the first time you ever hear of the word carburetor on a car, and you're like, what's a carburetor? Well, same thing with a stochastic. Don't get all worked out about it, okay? You learn these things very quickly. Okay, I don't want to spend any more time here, because I'm going to get into silver. I know a lot of you are wondering what's going on. Well, if you've been listening to my videos, what can I say? I nailed it. Again, the price is right. Yes, we're having a little pop-up, but I believe this is temporary. Now, what I want to add to this is, if you've been listening to what the pros are saying, how they're all saying now there's potential of a stock market crash, bingo. Is that not what I was saying back in October, November 2014, and even in December 2014, and again in January 2015? And back then I didn't even know anything about the indicators, or very little so by December and January, because I just started learning about indicators back on December 20th. So I went basically with my gut instinct, how I felt about the markets, the economy, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as the silver, well, take a look here. We're again at that 1750 mark, and as you can see, the green line, well, we never surpassed the day before, which was the red line, and that's very important. So we haven't reached another high, and we didn't top off the past high. And if you take a look at this chart here, looking back from May 7th to May 11th, Yeah, these aren't new highs. So don't be all worked up. You're thinking it's taken off. Yeah, as you can see from the chart here, this is from January 2015 to May 11th. We haven't broken any big trend here, folks. What can I say? What else? I'm not going to spend too much time, but even on the fast stochastic, I talked about this indicator before. You can see here how it's already flattened out, and well, we have a hammer on Friday, and I suspect on Monday or Tuesday we'll see another down drop. Now what's important here, I'll leave a link to this if you want to see this silver seasonals, because this is very important, the seasonals. Okay folks, we're kind of ending that area here, that time of the year where you have this the seasonals. Okay, so you can see down below January, February, March, April, May, June, July, right? Well, if you look up there, that's January, that's where you get your seasonal highs, and then you start dropping back down for your summer lows. And well, if you've been paying attention, I've called the lows here on silver since 2012, every darn summer, and I suspect I'll probably get it right again this summer. And if you want to go in and jump in now, that's up to you. Now all of this, if you want to keep track more on silver, as I mentioned before, I got this forum, and there's a whole section here on the economy and silver stacking. Okay, and that's over at connectingdots1.com. I'll leave a link down below. Now I'm showing the forum again because I just someone posted a little thread here on silver, and he gave you some trading options. If you're into trading, you may want to short silver at this point. It's up to you. I mentioned my little thing how I'm into scalping because lower risk, and I'm all about lowering my risk. Now speaking of risk, wow, can you imagine that? Whales here are being hit by cruise ships, and this one here was brought right into where was it again? Burrar's Inlet again in Vancouver, BC. So basically it was hit by a cruise ship, and it got caught up on the bow of the ship and dragged right into the port. And as you can see here, they're about to tie it up, and they're going to do a necropsy on it and find out a little bit more about it. So I decided to do a little bit of digging on this whole thing, and it turns out there's a little bit of a problem with these ships running into whales. Apparently the whales aren't set up for trying to run out of the way or get out of the way of a big cruise ship that's coming in a little bit faster than they can possibly swim. And well, yeah, there's a bunch of incidents. So I'll leave a link down there if you want to go follow this story. Now I'm going to start a little tour here, folks. As I mentioned before, I live right here on Vancouver Island and right in the city of Victoria. There's a Strait of Juan de Fuca. Some of you may remember I went down to the strait here and I picked up a bunch of seaweeds last year in 2014. So I'm about to do the same thing again. And yes, I have checked these. I have my Geiger counter here, and I'm going to go back again this year, and this time I'm going out to, well, guess where? Powell River, because, well, I want to go do the area where Dana comes from. So I'm going to basically take, drive all the way up here from the city of Victoria all the way up to Courtenay. And from Courtenay, I'll take a ferry right over to Powell River, and that's where Dana happens to live. So he's not home yet, but I'm going to go along his shoreline here, and I'm hoping some of you may help me out with some donations. I'll leave a link down below, and what I want to do, if I get donations, on top of just going there, I'll actually come down here and do this whole 200 kilometer. Do you folks remember how he went down here and did this whole initial 200 kilometers for 9 days, and then he came back saying there was no signs of life? Well, I'm going to go back down that same area. I bought a fuel efficient car. I'm taking possession next week, and I'm hoping some of you might help me out with some gas and some ferry costs. It's quite expensive here, not the gas, but it's the ferry. I mean, just my Powell River ferry one way, I believe, is about $65, so it's about $130 just there and back. So if I decide to do the whole 200 kilometers, I got another ferry here and another one right down here and another one to get back to Nanaimo, and from Nanaimo I'm back on the highway. I can drive all the way back down to the city of Victoria. Okay, so I'll leave a link down below for the PayPal account, And like I said here, I live right on the Strait of Juan de Fuca, where apparently all this radiation's been washing in from back and forth from the Pacific Ocean, from Fukushima, and washing up there and killing everything. It's a load of malarkey, but what can I say? I mean, if you've been paying attention here, Dana even mentioned how he tried to do an interview up in Powell River, sorry, not in Powell River, in Queen Charlotte's, and he did an hour and a half with the local newspaper called The Observer, and they never even printed a single story about him. That's because they were already warned. They already know about him. So I'm trying to end this on the scam here on YouTube. So it won't take a lot of cash here to pay me, help me out with these ferries. So if you folks can spare the money, don't if you're in tough times, please don't send any money. If you can spare it, great. Let's put an end to this crap, and I'll leave a link to the forum here so you can stay updated there also. Take care, folks. Hope you enjoy the info.